Ramani, and you're watching the Cup of Dreams here on Firstpost. This is, of course, a very, very big encounter that we are sort of building up to. This is Pakistan versus South Africa. It's happening at the Chepauk Stadium. Chepauk is going to host its last World Cup match, and what a cracker of a match this is going to be. The toss is going to be in just about a few minutes from now, and we know why this is a very, very important clash, because this is a do-or-die game for Pakistan. A loss here would mean pretty much the end of the road for this team. It's been quite a difficult tournament, quite the kind of tournament that they wouldn't have expected going into this encounter. Chepauk Stadium, we know how Chepauk is when it comes to celebrating and honoring and cherishing good contests. They've always appreciated a good cricket contest. They did that when Afghanistan played here just recently and recorded an upset victory against Pakistan. And now it's Pakistan's turn to show some fight when they take on a red-hot South Africa side. If I had to just talk about both these teams coming into this particular encounter before we look at the head-to-head, we have a side like South Africa that's really stamped its class in this tournament. They've come in on the back of a good, convincing series win against Australia, and they've just kept that momentum going. Their biggest strength has clearly been their batters, but it would be unfair to say that that's the only reason why they've really hit that purple patch in this particular tournament. Their bowlers have also come in and lent that support cast role to a batting side that's really taken this tournament by storm. They've posted consecutive 300 plus totals. They've literally batted out their entire opposition in this World Cup. So they are the team to watch out for. And what a contest Pakistan has on its hands. If I spoke about the bowling also, Kagiso Rabada really leading from the front, but they've got key members everywhere, whether it's Kudze, who came in for a game and provided those crucial breakthroughs. Even their spin department, very, very, very able hands of Tabraiz, Shamsi, and Keshav Maharaj, who's also very, very good with that bat. So as a team, South Africa really looking good to continue on their winning momentum here. But if you look at Pakistan, what a horrendous tournament it's proven to be for this side. They started off pretty comfortably, recording some wins, a couple of wins in this tournament, but after that, especially that match against India, proving to be that turning point for the side. 2 consecutive losses after that to quality sides, and a quality performance by Afghanistan. Now, if you looked at the head-to-head performance between both these teams, it's a very closely fought contest, and why not? These are 2 quality sides, and in ODI World Cups, when they've faced each other 5 times, South Africa has gotten the better of Pakistan 3 out of those 5 occasions. So a very, very closely fought contest, a closely fought matchup these 2 teams have had in the past. A few concerns now, if I just look at Pakistan, because that's the team that you really want to talk about. There's been a lot of pressure on none other than the captain himself, Babar Azam. He's come under so much of criticism after back-to-back losses. And it's not just his captaincy that's come under the scanner. It's also his batting at World Cups. He hasn't really gotten off to a flyer. He's gotten a few good knocks. He started off well, looked all right, but not really been in the kind of flair that you expect from a world #1 batter. He's #1 in ODI batting records. And clearly that record that you just saw on your screens isn't fitting to someone who has to shoulder that responsibility of playing the sort of cricket that they expect him to. And that, of course, is his career record when it comes to ODIs. Quite the shades different from what we've seen of Babar Azam at the World Cup alone. And going up against a team like South Africa, who's just the opposite. You know, you have an opening bat there like Quinton de Kock, who's really taken this World Cup by storm, calling this World Cup as the last that he would. He's already struck 3 centuries in this tournament so far, a strike rate inching towards 120, which is incredible in the ODI format, the best of 174, which is the highest score for a wicketkeeper batter in the ODI format, where he overtook Adam Gilchrist. Really, Quinton de Kock stamping his authority, stamping his class in this particular format at this tournament, and has been a very crucial aspect for South Africa's success in this tournament so far. The fact that they've enjoyed not just Quinton de Kock's performance, but also a lot of the batters lower down the order. You have someone like Rassie van der Dussen really providing that stability at number 3. You want someone who can rotate the strike, but ups the ante and creates that big anchor role at number 3. Rassie has done that for South Africa very well in this tournament. And then you come to the big 3, David Miller, Henrik Klaasen, and of course, Aiden Markram. They've been in fabulous touch, but there is a caution to the wind when you look at, of course, Henrik Klaasen in this particular, in ODIs. He's had a turnaround of sorts. That 174, no one can forget that. That came against Australia just before the World Cup. What a knock that was. But when you look at conditions in Chennai, it's not going to be similar to what an Aiden Markram, Henrik Klaasen or David Miller will encounter. Sure, they have amazing record when it comes to the ODI format, but this isn't a very easy track to bat on. Chennai, we know how it played out in the very first match when India took on Australia. Both the teams relatively struggled to really get a flamboyant innings going. Both of them had to play out the knock. And even when we heard from KL Rahul after the match, he did speak about how Virat Kohli would tell him to play here like he was a test innings. So there's a lot of patience, there is a lot of attitude, aptitude that they need to, and a lot of calmness that they need to apply when they bat in these conditions. So both these teams will have to be very wary about that. The one additional concern, of course, for Pakistan that we're hearing is that Hassan Ali may miss out from getting selected for this particular match owing to a minor illness. We know how important his inclusion was because all of the troubles for Pakistan started when one of their key pacers, Naseem, was injured in that Asia Cup. That probably was that starting point for all the troubles that Pakistan started facing, sort of the starting point to where it has led up to this point. But that loss against Afghanistan definitely hit them hard. In fact, the PCB, and I'm just going to pull out that statement for you. The PCB came out with a particular statement right after that loss to Afghanistan, and they said that Babar Azam and the Pakistan team has their full support. They also said Inzamam Ulhaq, the selector, and Babar Azam had all the freedom to choose the kind of squad that they wanted to field in this World Cup. Having said that, though, there is still a World Cup that's on their hands. There are still 4 matches left to go. So a lot on the line here, and they are imploring all fans to continue to support the Pakistan team. That's what they're saying. PCB acknowledges the emotions and sentiments of cricket fans following the 3 consecutive defeats faced by the national team in the ICC World Cup 2023. In this challenging environment, the board administration hopes that the cricketing fraternity and fans will continue to support Captain Babar Azam and the entire Pakistan cricket team. That's what the statement says. Even as the captains, we see Babar Azam himself and Temba Bavuma, quite a character in the South Africa dressing room, quite the opposing sort of character to Pakistan there, getting ready for the toss. And the news is that Pakistan has won the toss and they've gone ahead with batting first, probably taking a bit of cue from some of the previous matches that has happened in this particular ground. You know it's a tricky patch to bat on. So they have decided to see it off at the start. There is that whole dew factor that also will come in. It's a very humid Chennai city there. It's not easy for both the batting and the bowling sides as the match progresses. So Pakistan winning the toss and electing to bat first, taking a cue from what's happened in the previous matches. But you know it's not going to be easy either ways. You know what a strong batting side that they're up against in the likes of South Africa. So that is going to be a very, very daunting contest for sure for the Pakistan batting unit right at the start. And if we just take a look at the batters in their ranks, of course, you have someone like Babar Azam, but a lot will depend on the guys starting off. Someone like an Abdullah Shafiq. He had one very, very powerful knock against Sri Lanka in this particular tournament where he scored 100, and that key partnership that they had with Mohammad Rizwan. But a lot would ride on the openers to give a very solid start at the top, considering the kind of attack that they're going to be up against. We are yet to get a confirmation of the teams that are out there who are going to come in. So just going to wait on in that to figure out who the playing 11 would be for both these sides. But having said that, you know that there's a lot that is riding on a team like Pakistan. Temba Bavuma, again, if you just sort of look at South Africa, what a contrasting dressing room that is proving to be. You have a very cool captain there, Temba Bavuma. We hear from all the players who we're speaking to how he's very calm, he's fun, he gives that space to his team to express themselves. And then you also have the atmosphere itself. Winning obviously lends to a positive atmosphere in the dressing room, and you've got that kind of atmosphere in the South Africa dressing room. They are a side, they're looking good, they're happy there. And that is something that is tough to go up against. Even if you match skills for skills, the sort of environment that you're going up against, the energy and the positivity that you're going up against is something that's going to be quite a challenge for the Pakistan side. We've seen the Pakistan side be in such a difficult situation in the past. We all remember what happened in the 1992 World Cup, Imran Khan leading the side there. And if I had to just speak about quickly the changes that we can see for the Pakistan lineup, you've got pretty much the same guys there. But as we said, Hassan is absent from that lineup. That's the biggest change there. But you've got pretty much the same lineup that you've almost seen every time. Mohammad Wasim is there to strengthen that bowling unit alongside Haris Rauf, Shaheen Afridi, as is the case. So that's what it looks like right now. We are also seeing pictures of the coach Mickey Arthur getting the team together in a huddle, giving a bit of a pep talk. A lot of that is required. We saw Mike Atherton. We've seen the best of teams struggling here in the past. We've seen the best of sides struggle at a tournament. We saw England losing to Sri Lanka in a horrific defeat just last evening. And you saw Mike Atherton saying, talent isn't anything talent is always there, but it's the confidence that once you lose can just be lost in an instant. South Africa's made, of course, the key change of going ahead with two spinners. They've got Keshav Maharaj and Tabraiz Shamsi. We did predict that when we spoke earlier. We did say that these conditions you would fancy someone like Tabraiz Shamsi coming in. We spoke to him, in fact, earlier, where he spoke about how he was raring to go up against a player like Babar Azam. He was raring to go up against a quality batting side, and he's going to really be fancying his chances here, considering the kind of attack that we've seen from we've seen the South Africa bowling unit to be successfully putting up in this tournament. So that's what we are seeing at this point. Pakistan, Imam ul Haq and Abdullah Shafiq, as you know, are going to start off the innings there at the top. Babar Azam, a lot expected out of him. Mohammad Rizwan, again, a very key member there of that middle order, coming in at number 4. A lot riding on him as well. He's shown sparks of brilliance in this particular tournament. He did, he did, of course, score that 100, which was a very, very critical knock to get them that win and get them across the line in that match against Sri Lanka. So a lot, again, riding on him. And then you have Saad Shakil, again, someone who's shown some sparks of brilliance here in this tournament. Iftikhar Ahmed, Shadab Khan, Mohammad Nawaz, who comes in, and of course Mohammad Wasim, Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf. Wasim Jr., as they say, takes over in place of Hassan, who we told you was sick. Usama Mir is also missing out, and Nawaz replaces him. So those are the two changes for Pakistan in that lineup for you. And as we also were expecting a similar sort of change for the South Africa side, you do have two spinners there coming in to this 11. So that's what it looks like at this point. Again, enough has to be said about the situation that Pakistan finds itself in. We were speaking about Imran Khan in 1992, of him calling his team the Corner Tigers. They were in a similar position where they had lost a series of matches in the league phase with no hopes pretty much of qualifying for the semi-final, but they did it and they went on to win. There's a reason why we call Pakistan a mercurial side. Temba Bavuma recently at a press conference came out and joked that when he said he kept hearing everyone calling the Pakistan team a mercurial side, and he says he had to Google and find out what the meaning of mercurial meant, and then he says, yeah, it's a team that plays very brilliantly on one day and horribly on another. And he, of course, said, giving that respect to the Pakistan legacy, giving that respect to the ranking that Pakistan boasts of as a team in ODI format. He, of course, said, and if they do turn out to be brilliant today, we just hope we're a tad better than that. So a lot to look forward to in this particular match. And if we look at just contests or face-offs, some very interesting matchups there that you can expect. We're talking about Pakistan batting first, and then you see some of their top batters there going up against someone like a Kagiso Rabada. That would be exciting. But that's the other change that we are also coming to know. Kagiso is not in that playing 11, possibly rested, possibly given a bit of a break. You've got Lungi Ngidi and Gerald Kudzi. Again, these two are very, very tough customers. It's not easy to get past these two guys at the top. Keshav Maharaj, Tabraiz Shamsi, Marco Janssen as well, of course, rolling his arm over. So that's the lineup there. Kagiso Rabada is what we're hearing maybe out of this one. But yes, Temba Bavuma, who was also absent, and Aiden Markram had taken over briefly. It's nice to see that he's back again. So yes, a few changes for both Shamsi and Ngidi coming in alongside Bavuma. Rabada misses out. We just don't know quite yet what the reason for that is, but we're just assuming at this point, considering there has been no niggle, there has been no injury largely for the South Africa team, that it is probably just that bit of rest, considering how they want to save the best for the last. Is that wise really? There are two ways of looking at it. Is it wise that they had to put in a replacement at this point? Not really sure whether there's some what the thinking behind that is, but we are assuming that it is to give rest and there isn't anything serious owing to the reason why Kagiso Rabada is missing from that lineup. But yes, you will have a very exciting contest of bat versus ball right at the start of this particular match. So that's what we are coming from here. Before I wrap up, just to recap a little bit about what we've seen so far. Pakistan has won the toss against South Africa. That's happening in Chennai today, and it's a must win for Pakistan. Before I go, a quick look at the points table then, just to see where these two teams stand. South Africa at number 2 with 8 points there. Pakistan at number 6 with 4 points. So a loss here would really sink their hopes down further and would mean pretty much the end of the road. But yes, that's what we have from here at this point. This is the update then before we wrap things up. Pakistan in a quest for that must-win match after 3 consecutive losses against a red-hot South Africa side. That's the latest then here. But as we always say, you keep watching the Cup of Dreams here on Firstpost, and we will keep bringing you the latest. For now, though, that's the latest updates that we have. Pakistan versus South Africa starting in a few moments from now. Pakistan batting first. Few changes there. No Kagiso Rabada for South Africa, and no Hassan Ali and Usama Mir for Pakistan. Tabraiz Shamsi and Keshav Maharaj coming in to strengthen their bowling here in Chennai. So that's the latest. Do keep following us for more, and our exclusive coverage on the Cup of Dreams continues. I'll see you in Lucknow, of course, tomorrow. But till then, thanks for watching.